What's the most uncomfortable question you can ask someone? How come I wasn't invited? I was once invited to a party, at the end of which the hostess asked me, how do you keep finding out about these? That ducking stung. Never talked to them again. Weren't you pregnant? Edit. I seem to have struck a chord here. If I could give Yael a hug, I would. I ran into someone I hadn't seen since she was pregnant. Me. How's being a mom her? Oh. I'm not edit. I'll never ask again edit 2. Hope all the parents who endured miscarriages and stillborn are in a better place now. Where's my hug? Lol, this gives me some flashbacks. After work on a Friday I was saying goodbye to one of my friends and I gave her a hug. Here comes Brett, hey, where's my hug? So I give him the biggest bear hug, the kind that traps their arms at their sides, and picked him up off the ground. There's your hug, Brett. My friend said he didn't ask much after that, but you bet your balls I'd tell Brett, hey Brett, I got your hug right here buddy, with outstretched arms. He would give me an uncomfortable look like, ooh gross. Yeah Brett, that's how you are making everyone feel. And on pregnant women, how far along she is. This happened to a friend I used to work with. Both she and I had both gained a decent amount of weight from eating out too often and a high stress job. However, she was married and I was single. We were both getting coffee in the kitchen when another coworker came up and congratulated her on her pregnancy, completely innocently. My friend awkwardly laughed it off and said she wasn't pregnant. As soon as the coworker left, she burst into tears. She went home early that day. That single question changed what she ate in front of others and how she dressed at work for the rest of the time we worked together. Why does everyone hate you so much? I hate this one so much. I lived in a small town so everybody knew everybody. High school was rough. I didn't know how to stick up for myself and soon became the scapegoat for bullies and rumors. Once our senior year hit, people matured a little and started being nicer to me. I made a lot of friends suddenly and all of them would ask, why does everybody hate you? You're not like they say. It was awkward because most of those people were the ones contributing to the rumor/bullying. I'm not sure if it counts, but if someone asks you, hey, can you move over a seat so I can be next to my friend? Especially if you thought the person asking you was your friend. Along the same lines, when at parties with friends I was always asked to take pictures of people but no one ever asked to be in a pic with me. It stung. If you come in the back office with me right now, just you and me, are you gonna be cool about it or be a snitch? Asked by my old boss at a grocery store. He just was offering me shots of Fireball because it was almost closing time on New Year's Eve, but that phrasing sounded kinda fishy. At a job interview, do I have to do a drug test? You do now. Are we still friends? Or, who's your best friend? Have you seen our toothbrush? Edit. Christ, this blew up. Thank you all for the silver/gold. Deleted. Doctor, in front of parents, are you sexually active? Now that's when you start bragging, haha. Just have a casual conversation about anything, corona, politics, grandparents, and ask immediately afterwards, anyway, how's your sex life? The room has taught me a lot about life. Haha, what a story mark. Did you bathe properly today? This is a conversation I had to have with a coworker once. His smell was very distracting for everyone in the office. Guy's wife had died, and he just sort of stopped taking care of himself afterward. A couple of us got him set up with a therapist. He left the company shortly after for a less stressful job, but I saw on FB a while later the guy's doing much better. I saw an old high school acquaintance at a club once. She had always been super skinny in HS, but this night she had a very pronounced belly. I assumed since she had always been skinny and only had grown in her belly that she was pregnant. She was not. Editing this after my BF insisted that I tell the whole story. I can't remember exactly how I asked her, but she replied in a half laugh that she wasn't pregnant. Me, thinking she was joking, replied, oh, just a big lunch then, while patting her stomach. Then I laughed and walked away. My cousin later told me what I had done and informed me that she had a 1-year-old and hadn't lost her baby weight. I will never do that again. As a male, I operate under a policy that the only time that you can ask a woman if she's pregnant is if she is in active labor and the baby is crowning, and even then you must exclaim surprise that you had no idea. Are you uncomfortable? If they say no, then you should reply with, do you want me to make you uncomfortable? Why are you so quiet? Me starts speaking, gets interrupted repeatedly. Why are you so quiet? Is it in yet? I was starting and forth on a patient. She said something like, I was going to ask you if it was in yet. I didn't even feel it. I wanted to say something like, normally this is the worst thing for a man to hear so bad. But yeah, no. Professionalism. Depends on the person. For a lot of women, it's so when are you guys going to have a baby? I literally had to tell my mill that we are trying and that we haven't used protection for some time now. Buried her enough to back off the topic forever. She's very old school. To the gay couple, which one of you is the girl/boy? Actually, we are both the boy. It makes being in a lesbian relationship rather confusing. Can you tell me something about yourself? If it's not in a professional setting, my go-to is I have 3 nipples. Depending on their response, it's either a great conversation starter to break the ice, or we wouldn't get along well anyway. What do you think of me? Whenever someone says this to me, I'm always so puzzled and awkward about the whole thing. What do you want me to say? I once had a stranger tell me I saw that, and I was like, saw what? You were checking out that girl? I honestly had no clue what he was talking about because I seriously wasn't checking out anyone, but he kept insisting that I was, and that I should stop denying it. The dude was like 40. What the duck was his problem? Ducking embarrassing man. You don't have to lie. Why are you getting mad? Only guilty people get defensive. That is not correct. I'm getting pissed because you're accusing me of something I didn't do. You duck. No, where are you actually from? West Philadelphia, born and raised. Once, back in college, when meeting my then girlfriend's parents for the first time, her dad greets me with a handshake. Nothing odd about that at all. Then, in mid-shake he says, so you're the guy ducking my daughter. I was genuinely rendered speechless. Edit to at, he didn't mean it in a threatening way or as an alpha move, and that was perfectly clear in the moment. My girlfriend had warned me that he was a bit of a kidder, and I was also aware of the fact that they were very open when it came to discussing sex. I knew before I met him that her dad knew we were sleeping with each other and that it wasn't something that had to be kept secret. I just didn't expect to be greeted with it during introductions. I'm a firm believer in equal partnership. So to be fair, sir, your daughter and I are ducking each other. What kind of debt are you in? The Mayfair are currently fighting a turf war over the collection of said debt. It's made me pretty popular. Do you think your friends ever regret meeting you? Not generally, no. Friendship is largely optional on their part. Tell me about yourself. Windows has decided to shut down. I have a problem where, whenever anyone asks me my favorite book, movie, band, etc., I cannot think of a single thing I've ever seen or heard. Same goes for if, and it would be a rare occasion anyway, I was to do karaoke. I had to save a list of songs that I actually know in my phone notes, so I don't just flip through the songbook in increasing anxiety. Open bracket. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? This is why I hate interviews. I don't even see myself doing anything in an hour and I think I have 5 years planned already. WTF. Hey, we need to talk. This is the worst, especially over text. Just reply, yeah, I think we do. Then you're both having an anxiety attack. Do you have a sister by chance? Would you settle for a brother? Why does no one love me? Well, have you tried paying them? On a scale of 1 to 10, how pretty do you think you are? It's bad because if you give yourself a high score, feel that you're egotistical, and if you give yourself a low score, feel either that you're insecure or that you're fishing for compliments. Everyone always answers this with 7. Male nurse here. I'm always asking embarrassing questions to the female patients, especially if they're young. Are you currently sexually active? Do you have any STDs? Was asked by the charge nurse. to discharge a 16-year female patient for vaginal discharge and to tell her how to clean/medicate herself. I told her no. Do you really want a guy to tell a young girl how to clean herself and to not have sex for 3 months while on meds? She agreed and did it herself. I'm not sure which I'd hate more, being a male nurse asking a girl if she's sexually actively, or being a male patient being asked if I'm sexually active by a female nurse. Well, apparently it's taboo to talk about how much money you make or anything about your financial situation, unless you're really rich, so that seems to make people pretty uncomfortable, in the US at least. Honestly, I don't get this. I'm super open about my financial situation. Granted, it's pretty easy to explain. When are you going to get married/have kids? Especially awkward when someone asks it of you and a good friend of the opposite gender. Not every friendship is a romantic comedy waiting to happen. Sometimes you have platonic chemistry. Can we become best friends after meeting for 3 days? Why do people do that? People do that. Why do you have cut marks on your arm? Cat got me. Why is that clown following you? He's my boyfriend. Hey, can we have a talk about your search history? Warning, I have detected that your heart rate is 2,475,532 beats per second. Maybe relax a bit. What color underwear are you wearing right now? Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat chuckles. Have you ever considered plastic surgery? That's just insulting. Why don't you have any children? I was a chronic miscarrier. My son is a super duper miracle. These kind of questions are the worst. A friend of mine gets them because she has been married for quite a while now. Stupid jerks don't know she has gone through many heartbreaking rounds of IVF with nothing to show for it. I was telling someone about some good news I had recently gotten, and they said congratulations, but someone overheard only the last bit and immediately jumped to wait. Are you pregnant? In front of a bunch of other people. Never ask someone if they're pregnant. Wait until they tell you. Otherwise you could make things super awkward if they are pregnant, but they're not ready to tell anyone. They're trying but haven't been successful yet, etc. It is a man's duty to break the awkward by patting his stomach and saying 9 months, due any day now. Oh, this is one I've had to do. A coworker/friend I had in the USAF had just broken up with her fiance. Han was stationed across the globe at another base. We hung out enough that others in the workplace joked we were dating. We were friends, but definitely not romantically compatible, plus she was engaged. So here's where it gets weird. She's a pretty conservative girl in a really genuinely wholesome kinda way. And about a week after she's broken up with her ex, I'm in my dorm room on base doing. I was jerking off alright. And as I'm scrolling through pictures, I see her. Like, it's gotta be her. But there's no way she'd let her ex take this picture, right? Definitely not let him post it online. So now in the middle of my alone time I'm faced with a moral conundrum. Because this could be revenge porn posted of my friend and she'd probably like to know it's out there and have it taken down if possible. But that means I have to find a way to discuss this with her to let her know what I may or may not have found. There is no winning in this situation. And of course I've got to talk to her. So I text her saying I need to ask her something in person. I go over to her dorm and as nervous as I've ever been in my life, I have to ask if her and her ex ever took any sex photos. She was like, what? After some very awkward explanation she told me it must just be someone who looks exactly like her, like same mole on same cheek alike, because they definitely never took any pictures like that. We both breathed a sigh of relief because she thought I was gonna ask her out a week after she broke up with her fiance and wasn't sure how to turn me down gently and me for all the previously explained reasons. So yeah, asking an opposite sex friend about whether or not their ex might have leaked their nudes as revenge porn has gotta take the cake. Hey, props for taking the risk and facing the embarrassment. If those had been her pics illegally put online, she'd definitely want to know. It would have been easy for you to ignore it, but you did the right thing. On a first date, have you ever had a sexually transmitted infection or disease? Uncomfortable, but necessary. I had a girl tell me that she had a fully preventable with a condom STD before we had sex the first time. It was awkward for a minute, but I couldn't possibly have more respect for her honesty and vulnerability. We ended up dating for a bit, and thanks to her honesty I don't have an STD. She's a wonderful person, and if the world had more people like her it would be a safer place to live. To someone you kind of know, but don't live with, do you know you talk in your sleep sometimes? You smell different when you're awake. Is it cool if I shoot some smack real quick? Best results at family gatherings. Would you get that watch while you're standing next to someone at the urinal? What happened to your arms? Did you fall off your bike? Did you get burned? Is that contagious? No duckers, it's called psoriasis. I'm sick of wearing long sleeve shirts in the summer, okay? Just stop asking people about their appearance. It's not that hard to mind your own damn business. When are you due? It's not uncomfortable when the woman is pregnant, but when she isn't, well. Can I talk to you about Jesus? What's he done now? I swear he's grounded for a month this time. My 35 years old husband was battling brain cancer. He had lost all movement on his left side and was completely bedridden. When we had to go to DR's appointments we would have to hire a wheelchair van with a driver. My husband also slept all the time due to the location of his tumor, but often would wake up having heard what was going on around him. The driver asked me what his prognosis was, and I just thought, what a thoughtless question. You are literally asking me how long until he dies in front of him. I just told her we don't talk about those things. I was so mad. Thank you for fighting this fight with him. Some dude to me on Discord, how big are her boobs? I'm a guy. Reply with there's different bra sizing systems. Which one do you want me to tell you in? Then block them. How old you think I am? 117. Why are you gay? Who says I'm gay? For me it's when I'm interviewing for a position and they see that I was with a former agency for 12 to 13 years and they ask me why I left that agency. Makes me very uncomfortable because I failed a 10-year background investigation because I smoked weed while vacationing in Jamaica on 2 separate occasions over the span of nearly 10 years. Long story short, I was forced to resign. In Oregon, that would almost guarantee I got the job. Did you remember to turn the stove off? No, I'll let it reboot overnight with the software update. My sister and I are adopted and someone once asked my mum, in front of US, how much did they cost? I'm not sure if this could be considered as an uncomfortable question. But yeah, it was awkward. Edit 1. Wow. Thanks for the upvotes. Edit 2. For those asking how much, if you want a serious answer I can't answer that question simply because I have no idea. It depends on a lot of stuff. Do you love me? Yee hee hee hee. I always thought asking a soldier how many kills they have is the absolute worst thing you can ask. Unless they are proud of it. In that case, fire away. To a teenager, so are your pubes fully grown? What the actual duck? We're totally gonna have sex, right? Hey, it worked for Michael Scott and Holly. Asking an introvert why are you so quiet? Deleted. What about me seems interesting. I never know how to respond to a question like this. I have this incredible gift of forgetting everything I've ever experienced when asked a personal question. Did you fart? Stands up. Hey, he was the one who farted, by the way. Indian aunties have nailed this. Orbiter, what is your salary? Haven't you got a little healthy lately? Translation, fatto is, that has it on your face? How much did you score in board exams? When are you getting married? When are you making me a grandma? If there was an Olympic category for uncomfortable questions, Indian aunties would win it. Edit, obligatory. Thank you for the award, kind stranger. Edit. So many of you guys are hinting incest at auntie grandma transformations. In India, every female of a certain age is an auntie, and every female of a certain age to your kid will be his grandma. It ain't got no rules, so keep your Alabama in your pants. This one popped up out of nowhere during a lunch with a group of friends. Dude just asks me out of the blue, you don't like me, do you? No prompting. No conversation leading up to it. The only thing I can even think of is that in the days leading up to it, Ed told him I didn't want to go LARPing and told him no when he invited himself over to spend the night at my wife's and my apartment, so he would be that much closer to the LARPing location. For reference, he lived maybe 15 minutes away from us, and LARPing was maybe 45 minutes to an hour from there. We had only met him a few times total at this point as a friend of our friends. To answer the question, I mean yeah, you make me uncomfortable inviting yourself over and being pushy / guilt tripping about things. But let's not make a scene at lunch, bro. What are your 5 biggest hopes, dreams, fears, and regrets? 5 of each, or can I focus on fear and regrets? Do you wanna go out? Do I have a chance? Why is do you wanna go out? Awkward? Ask someone you're incredibly close to notice anything different. D and then slowly look sadder and sadder as they struggle to guess what you changed. This one right here. It's great for ducking with people though. Can I suck your toes? What do you call someone who wears a condom on their toes? Roberto. Went on a camping trip with a friend of mine and her friend who had just met that day. We had a few hour car ride. I was sitting in the back seat and I just happened to be a chill quiet person who keeps to myself. She proceeded to ask me, why are you so quiet? Were you abused as a child? Were your parents overbearing and outspoken so you stay quiet? Bitch, I've barely known you half a day, chill the F out. To guests at a funeral, do any of you watch pornography? Jim did. And now he's dead. Really makes you think. Who you voting for? When I was a kid, my parents got mad that I'd tell people who they voted for. I didn't know it was a big deal. Are you happy with who you are as a person? I used to be a cashier at guest services at this one amusement park. I had a young woman and a older man approach my register. The woman says she'd like to buy a ticket for her father. So I look at the guy and say, hi sir, what kind of tickets are you looking for? To which she replies, no, that's my husband. It was so awkward and I didn't know what to say, so I looked at the guy again and said, hi sir. What's that on your teeth? Some random lady was talking to me one time and she was like, oh wait, there's something in your teeth, and she tried to pick it out of my teeth and I was just like, I can't touch my own teeth but thanks anyways. You ever find clumps in your period blood? On the off chance you're suggesting this in the hopes of finding an answer, yes, and it's normal. Don't worry about it. In the more likely case that you're just ducking around, not nearly often enough, they have the best flavor. You know how cute you look through your bedroom window, right? How old do you think I am? Coming from someone who looks 100 but is much younger. Oh my, you watched until the end? That's ducking awesome, dude. Thanks for watching.